Video doorbells. These are the future. No longer are the days when you press a doorbell and it goes ding dong and that's it. Now you have got a video camera in your doorbell. You can connect it to the internet and you can see from anywhere in the world who's at your front door. Now that is pretty cool. So today we're installing a Google Nest Hello video doorbell, and we're just going to talk you through how to install one of these. It's not the easiest process, and so a lot of people struggle to install these even though they're so-called sort of a DIY job. I'm going to show you how the setup works here at this particular house where we've been installing one today. Hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, hit a thumbs up, subscribe, share it out to someone else, and let's get into it. So we've got this, which we don't actually need. This is the Chime Connector. If you're using a hardwired Chime, then you need one of these and you have to configure it in a special way. To be honest, installing these with a hardwired Chime is really tricky. They're always a real pain in the fiddle. So I would say if you're going to get a Google Nest Hello video doorbell, then just get a Google Home Mini as your Chime. Don't try and get a hardwired Chime. It's just so much faffing around. So we can basically just chuck this part away. This is a little wedge, so you can angle it. So because we're putting it on one side of the door, we want to angle it in the right direction so that we get the best camera view. And then this is the base. So the Nest Hello just clicks into this base basically. And it's all really nice quality stuff, you know. Nest products are great and excellent quality. This has got a real good quality feel to it, so I do like it. And you've got a lovely little nifty fixings kit here with your drill bit and your little raw plugs and your little tool to open it up and some screws and stuff. All the fixings are actually pretty decent quality as well, so we do tend to use these, not our own fixings. So we're going to multi-tool a box in down here. We might need two boxes, so what I think we'll do is we'll put a single box here with a switch fuse connection unit. We'll spur off this socket into that, and then yeah, we could and just chase it in, suppose, and then we drill in the back and we just drill up at an angle and try and come out. Or what we can do is drill through first, see where we come out. Yeah. So this is 2-core 0.75 flexible cable. Perfect size for this kind of job. What we're going to do is use this Knipex stripping tool to just strip back a little bit of this. Slightly too large for that actually, but there's another small end. So we'll use the small end. One end of this is for like data cable type thing, and the other end is for larger flex cables, but doesn't seem to want to work today. There we go, that works. Okay, good. So we've got our two conductors, and what we're going to do is put some of these little ring crimps on. So should just make a little bit of a neater job doing it this way, because the ring on the back has got these screws, and if you're using fine stranded cable like this, it's really hard to kind of like loop them around the screws neatly. It ends up being a bit of a mess. So if you use some of these, it will make the job a lot neater and more secure, and it's less likely that the conductors are going to come out of the terminals, which you don't want to happen. First, we need to mount our wedge and our mounting plate. So the wedge, loop the cable through, and the wedge goes on first. And we've got to get a level on this and make sure that it's level before we fix it back to the wall. And also try and get the right location so that you don't see any cables or anything like that. So I think that's about right. But I'll steel core his Sharpie again. I'll mark that up and then I'll drill the holes. So here we go, level. So that is nice and level now. what we're going to do is make a little mark on the wall above and below, like so. And then we're going to use this lovely drill bit and these lovely plugs and screws that Google Nest have provided. And like gently, there's like a little cozy blanket of cardboard around the screws. Isn't that nice? Okay, so now I was just having a go at Corey not wearing correct PPE. Can I have my glasses back? Thank you. Always wear the correct PPE when drilling. Now I'm outside and it's not going to make much dust, so I won't need my dust mask and it's not going to make much noise. But glasses are always good just in case a bit of brick goes in your face. Voila. Okay, they're a little bit tight actually. Okay, might need your chisel. If you ever don't drill quite deep enough and then the end of the plug kind of gets all bent up like that, you can just chisel it off with a sharp wood chisel, because these plugs are so tight that once you get them in you'll never get them out again. But the screws themselves are quite short, so you don't really need that much length. So before we fit the little wedge, what I'm going to do is just fill this hole with transparent silicone. I'll just blow the dust out of it first, and then I'll put transparent silicone in there so that if it rains and any water gets on it, the water's not going to run down inside the house and create damp problems or run into the box where the transformer is. Cue the massive oversized air blower. Right, so silicone. Going to just get a nice blob of silicone in the hole, and then we get a little big wipe. There are varying sizes, like so, and we give it a nice little spudge around there. Don't want the silicone to kind of be visible afterwards, so that is about right. There's no water going in there now. So then we thread this on the right way round, peel these off, because actually the fixings are going to go through the main base, not through that. Ta-da! So the little hole, there's a little hole at the bottom, right? That goes at the bottom. That is for this little key to go in, which is provided, and you shouldn't lose that. So this little key is provided in the packet. That is to release the Nest Hello from its carrier if you ever need to do any maintenance.
It's the same size as the iPhone SIM card release tool. I've discovered the hard way.
Corey, enough of this. You're blowing my mind today. You can save that and use it for your iPhone SIM card as well. There you go. Tip of the day from Corey's classroom. So this goes on like this, and it sticks. So those little sticky tabs that I've peeled off, that will make this stick. And then we just have to line it up and put our screws in. So now what we're going to do, we're going to strip these like so. And then crimp the ends on. Sometimes it's easier to twist them. Really fiddly. There you go.
I broke our dustpan. I sat on it the other day.
Those are like indestructible, those dustpans. Anything indestructible is not indestructible if Corey sits on it. There we go. So, we've got that. Now we're going to have to slide the excess cable back down. Corey, can you pull the excess cable down? What I'll do is connect the doorbell on first. Okay, so we're going to undo these little screws. Just be careful not to drop them because they're quite small, he says, and he drops them. They're quite small and easy to lose. So then these little ring crimps, yeah, here we go. We put the screw through. Really fiddly to try and sort of juggle them, but there we go. Screw through there. Then line the screw up with a hole. And then get your screwdriver in without it coming off and dropping the screw. There we go. Like so. That is one. And see, that is a brilliantly, secure connection. It's not going anywhere. So then the other one will pop in. And then we'll just screw that up. Now you might wonder which way around the wires need to go. It doesn't actually matter in this case because it's 0 volts and 24 volts or 18 volts. So there's no polarity issues on there that you need to worry about, and the terminals themselves aren't labelled up. So it really doesn't matter which way around it goes. So those are nice and tight. Now we just need to get Corey to pull the slack back, and then we'll click this in. So,
that good?
Yeah, I think that is about right. Yeah, that'll do. So the top clicks in first, and then the bottom. And you just got to be careful with these ring crimps that they don't catch on the back. There we go. And it just clicks in, and that is it. Done. So that's the aesthetically pleasing bit done. Now we've got to do the connections on the other side. So Corey has neatly prepared everything here. So he's done a little bit of filling around the boxes, a little bit of filling in here as well. So that's all ready to go. We just need to put a little bit of grommet strip in there. What's going to happen is this transformer is going to go in here. We can just hide it away in there, and then it doesn't look ugly, because otherwise you end up having to put a surface mounted ugly DIN rail controller, DIN mount enclosure, and it never looks nice. So what we're going to be doing is taking our main power supply from this double socket into a fused connection unit, otherwise known as a fused spur, which goes here. And the reason we put this in is because this circuit here for the sockets is on a 32 amp circuit breaker, but the transformer and the cables for the Nest Hello are rated at a lot lower than 32 amps. So we put this in with a 3 amp fuse, and that 3 amp fuse protects everything going out from it, so that we know that it's all safe. Now this is live at the moment, and obviously we need to safely isolate this before we work on it. So I'm going to just do a check to make sure my tester is working. You must always safely isolate a circuit when you're working on it. So this is a GS38 voltage indicator, and we just test line to neutral, line to CPC, neutral to CPC. So that is live. Now I'll turn the circuit breaker off. Okay, so that is now dead. Line to CPC, neutral to CPC, that's all dead. So we're safe to work. And what we're going to do is put a little bit of 2.5mm twin and earth cable in between here. Now I want to just highlight something here just to make people clear on one thing, is that this is not a DIY job what we're doing here. If you're not a qualified electrician, you shouldn't be doing this, because we're adding an additional point onto the circuit here. And so to do that, we need to provide a minor electrical works certificate, and with test results and all that kind of stuff, because we're doing an alteration to an existing circuit. Although Google Nest say that this is a sort of a DIY job to install one of these, it very rarely is, to be honest, because it's usually quite complicated. And in this case, if you need to add a new power point for it, you're not allowed to do that as a DIY person. So I just want to make this clear. Really, this video is for qualified electricians who just want to learn how to install the Nest Hello video doorbell. If you're not sure and you're not qualified, don't do it. So we've stripped that cable back, doubled over our ends, which I always like to do to get a good connection. Going to strip back this outgoing cable as well. It's a bit too long, so we'll cut that short. So we've changed this double socket as well to match, because this fuse connection unit is an MK brand, and I just thought it'd look nicer if they both match. We've done that. Got a 3 amp fuse here. This is labelled up, ready to go. The fuse is out, so that means that this is dead at the moment. So now I'm going to connect the transformer in. And you've got two sides. So you've got the mains voltage side, which is here, 240 volts, 50 hertz. That's where our main power goes in, line and neutral. So I usually put the neutral on the left to line up with the 0 volts of the outgoing side. So we'll do that. Just connect that in, like so. Then the live in the other side, or line as the technical correct term is. So make sure that those are nice and secure in the terminal, give them a little tug, make sure they don't pull out. And then we've got to connect this low voltage cable to the outgoing side of the transformer. Because it's fine stranded cable, we use these, they're called ferrules, and they just slide over, and then we crimp them on using this ferrule crimping tool, and then we just cut off the excess. And that just means that when you tighten up the terminals, you don't get the cable kind of fraying all over the place. Just nip the excess copper off that, and then we take the 0 terminal, we put the blue, like that, and then the brown, we take out the 24 volts terminal. Just tying that up. This is what we call a step transformer. So these terminals are tapped in at different spaces on the transformer coil, and that's why you get different voltages depending on which connection, which terminal you use. But we're just using the 24 volts one because the recommended voltage for this Nest Hello is 18 to 24 volts. So 24 is absolutely fine. If you do it lower, then you tend to get problems with it cutting out and stuff. So those are secure in the terminal, and now what we're going to do is tuck this transformer neatly into the box. And it should just fit. I like to leave a little bit of slack cable inside just in case there's any future alterations needed or anything, but that means you've got to tuck the cable out of the way. There we go. So that transformer fits nicely in there, and then we've got a blank plate here to go over the top, which will just hide it, and means that we've got a nice, neat finish. So we'll screw the blank plate on. Vertical or horizontal, let me know how you do your screws. Some people swear by doing them vertical, and other people say it's shocking and you should do them horizontal. There we go. So now everything's connected up at the other end. We can put this fuse in and just pop that in and screw that so that goes in. There we go. That will now have livened up our bell, so we'll see if it's gone blue and lit up. So, ding dong. There we go, it works. We've got a blue light. The blue light's spiraling, that means it's kind of in setup mode and ready to pair up to your app and connect to the Wi-Fi and all that stuff. Now, unfortunately, this house, we don't have Wi-Fi here yet. The customer's not here, the app's not set up, so we're not going to walk you through the setup stage of it because there are millions of YouTube videos about how to do that. Mainly today it was just all about the installation and how to actually install one of these. As I mentioned earlier, we didn't fit a hardwired chime, so the only ding dong is from when you press this, but you will also, if you get a Google Home Mini for about $29.99 or something, you can pair that up so that it says somebody's at the front door when somebody presses the front door, or you can get it to say ding dong or whatever. So this is it, the Google Nest Hello video doorbell, all set up, ready to go, ready for the customer to pair up with that app when they get the Wi-Fi. It's a great little piece of equipment. Lots of our customers ask for them now. This is the future of doorbells, really. So if this video has been of benefit to you, share it out to someone else who might enjoy it too. And if you'd like to join our journey here at Artisan Electrics, you can subscribe for free and you'll get regular video updates from us if you hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.